Yes, gear it first. Get it? Exactly. And by turning over the leaf, this means no more rant shows. It'll be all polished and professional.
Said it.
Yeah, no, definitely. Oh, I forgot to turn your mic on here.
Oh
Wow.
yeah, make sure that they can hear, because otherwise they're wondering who the hell is he talking to.
I have no
I
idea
see
if
his
they heard you or not. So, yeah.
lips are moving, but nothing else.
Good thing we do this for a living.
So we're back. We're back at our home bases after a week in Anaheim. Crazy time.
You know, Anaheim, if it wasn't for Namm and Disney, I don't think anybody would ever go there.
You know, I don't know. The homeless people in the streets, you know, that's always special.
Yeah, oh my God, we saw this girl just urinate. My wife says it's a dude, but there were two qualifying factors that it was a chick. Okay, the beard is very confusing. I will say that. But just copping a squat, urinating. Like, all right, it's like Las Vegas all over again.
Yeah, I was really disappointed. This particular year, there was much more of that with homeless folks around and they were saying, I was talking to one of the cabbies, and he's like, they used to try to clean that up because of it being such a negative thing around a convention center. Oh, yeah. There was times there were 6 people on the 2 park benches that we had to walk past each morning.
Yeah, so I mean, most of those homeless guys were probably there for the Namm show. Let's just be frank. You know, what they say, and I told my kids, like, if you guys ever want to be rock stars or DJs, at least I know you guys won't be on drugs because you won't be able to afford any.
Precisely.
For those of you guys that are not familiar with Namm, Namm is the National Association of Music Merchants. John, what do you think is the best way to describe this show?
This is a music lovers, probably a nirvana for music lovers, I'm guessing. You've got anything musical there. Mm-hmm. A lot of creepy music people, a lot of very unassuming music people.
The dude in the red dress.
Yes, you've got all sorts of creative. And then, of course, there's instruments and gear, too. But, I mean, Namm is really a people-watching show.
It is.
There's incredible walks of life coming through there. I mean, there's like, you know, someone's uncle, you know, George, that comes walking into the place wearing the bad Crocs and shorts and a bad button-down T-shirt. It looks like he just came from your Sunday barbecue, and he's going in there to look at gear. And then there's the guy in the red dress with the flaming hair that's sticking this way and that way, and then has chains coming out from below the dress. They're all there.
And then there's just Jason Janai, all polished and professional and acting like a damn rock star.
Up on stage. Yes, Jason was up on the EV stage there doing his thing. That was pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Absolutely. Any products that really got your attention, John? I mean,
there were quite a few things that I like to, and I've mentioned this on other shows. I like to go down in the basement because that's where you see the little mom and pop shops. Some of the startups are down there. One of the products that I think that you and I are going to absolutely love is a little thing called a groupie. And it's a little piece, and I should have brought it out. I got one of them, but it's a little piece of elastic that's sewn together, and it slides over the end of the cable, and then it has the Velcro, and then it can, you know, basically tie. But it's because of that little elastic, it holds on a cable much more, and it'll hold on the end of the cable compared to some of them where they'll slide down the cable a few feet. This will basically stay up by the XLR where you want it to be.
Yeah.
It's a simple thing, but the cool part about it is that the guy can go and for like no extra money, he can customize the thing. He could put your logo on it, or you can put some, you know, the tags on it. So you could be, you know, 25-foot XLR, and you could get that.
That might be one of the most exciting things I've heard about Namm.
Yeah, I mean, it's like $1.25, maybe $1.50 a piece to do that, or, you know, to have those. And it's like, dang. So Lori and I were looking at that, and it's like, you know, I think we're gonna get some Disc Jockey News ones made up to hand out.
That is really cool.
Yeah, they were that was probably, for small items, easily the coolest one that I saw. How about yourself? What stood out?
Nothing. I mean, honestly, no, Well, you know what? I'm going to rant about Namm. This is everybody's guilt.
Yeah, I mean, we've gotten 5 minutes in, and we haven't really gotten negative yet.
Every manufacturer is guilty of this. You know, this is something that I've mentioned to ADJ and Elation to. I've mentioned to everybody. Even my friends over at EV and Yamaha. What's the incentive to go to Namm when everything's released on YouTube ahead of time? As a dealer, it costs a lot of money. Now, I know that ADJ had some stuff, you know, specifically for the dealers. They had an open house. They had some training sessions. And I'm sure the other manufacturers did that as well. But to actually attend the show itself is very expensive. I personally think it should be you can't see anything until you actually go to Namm. And if you go to Namm, you'll be the first ones to get a chance to buy something. But at the same time, I feel like a lot of companies didn't have much innovation or even new products. You know, again, I'll say ADJ because I was working that booth. They had new products. You know, they had the new Boombox 2. Peter saying that there wasn't much DJ gear to see. He's absolutely right. But ADJ had the Boombox series. They have the 7PZ IZ, you know, the big old IP65 rated part is insanely bright. The 18P Elation had some new products. Now that Elation's doing the whole new hog line, you know, that was big news. American Audio really surprised us with some of the new stuff. I mean, you know, I know you had a chance to hear like their top secret speaker and everything else. So they're definitely taking an interesting direction. But let's talk about QSC because we know there was a product that was supposed to come out and it didn't come out after all. They had that 12-inch cardioid sub. Okay, big deal. It's one 12-inch sub because the other 12 inches for cardioid mode. So really, how loud is that going to be? Although as far as 12-inch subs, Omni System gets the win. That dual 12-inch that they had in their booth near ours, that thing hit. I mean, that hit really loud. Yamaha, yeah, they released new gear, but not really DJ related. And honestly, same thing with EV. They're doing so well with their DJ speakers, they don't need to release anything new. And I think it's the same thing with QSC, that they're doing so well with the K. But I've talked to dealers. The sales on K are dropping, especially when there's way better products out there, like the DSR, the DXR, ETX, EKX, FBT has some new stuff. I don't know if you noticed that. Oh, my goodness. What is the name of the company? The one that owns RCF. DB or whatever. Did you see they had some new speakers, really cheap speakers?
Yes.
They sounded really cheap. Well, I wouldn't know because their booth didn't have them plugged in at all, which you'd think they would. But the Reloop was using them. The booth was using them. And I don't know if the DJ was just really insanely loud or the Reloop mixer was crap, which I doubt that. But that speaker didn't sound that good.
No.
PreSonus is now doing stuff for DJs. Did you see that?
Yes, I went and actually listened to there were two lines at PreSonus. One line that was released, I believe, last year. Then they added to that line, and then they have a new line of speakers. One is basically a wood box construction, and the other one is more of a composite box.
Yep. And did you see what the amazing thing about those speakers are?
6-year warranty.
No. Inside.
Oh, that was the part that they were really pumping, is that 6-year warranty, and they're talking that they may even extend it beyond 6 years.
Oh yeah. Well, to me, you know, you can stick your head up a butcher's. Wait, which way was it?
Yeah, you can stick your head. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know exactly what I was going at. So no, what's interesting is, you know, a lot of the real big powerful speakers are using the Class D amps, and why? Because Class D is powerful and it's insanely effective. However, once you crank it up, Class D amps really put a hurting on the high range. You know, they don't sound as good. And those of you guys that are watching that did car audio know that if you're going to go with a good amp, it's a Class A and B, but they take up a lot more power. So what PreSonus did is they did for the mid and lower range, they did a Class D, and for the top, they did a Class A. Holy crap. I am like so stoked. I haven't had a chance to really hear them and A-B them, but I'm going to. But I'm stoked because this means that if they're going to do it, we're going to see other companies doing it. Now, this is something that really isn't patentable. But this is now a new push in technology that's going to cost other people. It's going to light a fire under their ass and say, okay, look, now we got to do something because now you've got that Class D plus that crispness of Class A. I was also really surprised to see some really high-end manufacturers coming up with DJ-related stuff. You know, DAS Audio is definitely trying to hit some more of the DJ-related things. Yeah. I'm surprised that Bassbox, is it Bassbox? Yeah, they weren't there, but I know they're hitting some new stuff. And Focal. I don't know if you know the brand Focal, but in car audio, man, Focal tweeters, well, Focal, F-A-O-C-A-L.
Okay.
Their tweeters were insane, just beautiful, crisp. You could crank it up and not hurt your ears. And it seems that they have just some studio monitors. They have stuff related for DJs. Ultimate Ears has a new in-ear monitor, which sounded amazing. And then they have the new box, a sound tap, that basically allows you to plug into either an active or a passive monitor or a speaker, and you can actually control your in-ear monitors separately. So now you don't need to have expensive boxes, like less than $300. But what DJs aren't thinking when they see this, because they may be like, I don't need this, I have my mixer. But now you can have that attached to the back of your speakers, so now the videographer can tap in, and they can record, and they're not going to be disturbing your sound.
No, yeah, certainly good idea. I didn't even think about it from that perspective.
But other than that, John, I feel like it's the same thing again and again and again.
It really, that was probably my biggest disappointment, is that I'm looking for some of these companies to really, and maybe I'm expecting too much and I need to lower my expectations, but you're looking for something to come out that is like, oh my gosh. I mean, the closest I saw that was really something that was like, wow, that's unique and different was, you mentioned something from Omni. They did something with some trussing that was pretty cool.
Yeah, they also had those balls.
And they had the balls that were coming down. That was pretty cool. Otherwise, it's a lot of, in the ADJ world, probably the most innovative thing was going over into the American Audio side. Yes. That had that nice little their new Mini. And it's not that they aren't good products. Don't get me wrong. It's just that, a few years ago when the Ninjas came out, that was kind of a completely different look, and it was a cool light effect, and we were like, ooh, hey, that's different. You're not seeing that. You just don't see that out there. And then you combine that with some of the companies that, Electro Voice, as Arnaldo said, didn't have anything. So what did they do? They still had a big booth, and they just had performers up on stage. Well, I'm hearing one set of speakers. What happens if I want to talk to other people and I can't because the performer's up on stage doing this? And it's like, I couldn't even do videos in the Electro Voice booth for you guys because there was always, there was somebody on stage every time I was rolling through. Granted, they weren't on all day. But it's like, well, why? The most I saw there, maybe you saw more, Arnaldo, but there were only about 15 people watching a performer on stage. It's like, what would... Denon is another company. You guys have been hearing us talk about some of their products and such. This year, you had to sign up in advance. If you didn't have an appointment, you weren't going to see anything Denon this year.
That's stupid.
That is incredibly stupid because the foot traffic is what this show is about. Well, I didn't even know that I was supposed to sign up, so I had to go pull some rank to get you guys a video from in that room. So basically, it's like, okay, here's the deal. And I don't like playing this card, but it's like, you know who I am. And if you want me to do anything, you're going to open the door and let me in, or I'm leaving.
Yep.
And they opened the door, but we went in there, and the things that we're talking about, any of the controllers, none of them were there. We saw the turntable, their new mixer, and their new player. That's the new multi, the media player that they have. That, well, I shouldn't say it will not do video, but basically their new. I can't think of the name of it. Anyway, it's a new family.
The pretty cool one, yeah.
Very cool, very cool. Ben went through and he did. You guys will get to see that video. Hopefully, Michael's getting that one edited. But it's incredible. Yeah. But that's all they had. It's like, how can these companies spend between $50,000 and $100,000, and that's the best you're going to get from them? It makes me completely befuddled. Because these same companies could go and take that $50,000, they could take 10,000 of it and tell the video crew to go shoot an awesome video. They could make it the other 10,000 and put between Facebook and YouTube ad revenue, and they could reach 100 times the number of people.
Yep. I think most of the innovation really came from the lighting companies. I mean, I guess, like you said, it's unfair to expect everybody to come up with a crap load of new products. It's not LDI. It's really not that major of a trade show. But, whether it was ADJ or, even Chauvet, Omni Systems, Blizzard, everybody at least had 2 or 3 new products that were out. Yeah. I can tell you from, helping out in the ADJ booth and stuff that the big part of Namm was getting a chance to go one-on-one with the dealers, one-on-one with the reps, connecting, new up-and-coming dealers with their reps, answering questions. But I can tell you that if we got rid of all the end users, that show would be at least 60% smaller. There were so many end users. And guys, we don't hate end users, but there's a day specifically for end users. But I've said this before, and I want to say it again. It stands for National Association of Music Merchants. If you want a dealer to be fully knowledge on the products that they're selling you and give you the best rate possible, you need to get out of the way so the dealers can actually get the questions answered. So when you've got a line full of people, as happened in a lot of booths, and the dealers can't get the answers that they need or buy the product that they need because user is asking about a $50 light or a $50 headphone or whatever the heck it is from whatever manufacturer, it's really hard for the manufacturer or the dealers to be able to give you that value because there are users in the way, which is why Sunday is end user day. But there were end users all multiple days. Yeah. And again, it's not that we hate end users at all. And my opinions do not reflect that of those of the people that I work with. But I got to tell you, it really is hard when I have a dealer asking, hey, I've got multiple clients asking about, the Airstream update. Sure, no problem. I'll help you as soon as I'm done helping this end user asking about one light. So that's where it gets difficult. And I've noticed this across all the booths, not just the ones that I was, hanging out at. But, for example, Ultimate Ears, they were, their booth was slammed. They have like 3 different booths, I'm sure you saw. And it was mostly people wanting to go in there and play instruments instead of actually asking questions about the products that Ultimate Ears had.
Yeah.
So same thing with GoPro. GoPro's booth was weird. There wasn't one damn camera there.
That was it.
What the heck was that? I mean, guys, for those who have not seen GoPro's booth, hey, somebody's tuning in.
Yep, well,
that's the founder of GoPro here to yell at us. Welcome.
Tom's a little early here.
Sorry. All good. One of the awkward things about Zoom. So GoPro had, their SUV, and then they had couches, and then they had a recording booth. John, how many cameras did you see at GoPro's booth?
I didn't see much of any.
Because they didn't have any. I'm like,
yeah.
What the hell is that? I had no idea what they were trying to do at all.
Yeah.
So I didn't get that. Also, in I keep calling it the basement. In the arena, there were a lot of Chinese companies. There were so many Huan Zhaos there. It wasn't like just non-stop. Also, Spencer's gift with the light-up speaker karaoke machines. That was incredible.
There were quite a few of those this year.
The DJ in the box. I'm like, what? Oh God. No, it was... I will tell you this, and I hope that one day somebody from Namm pays attention, that they should get their heads out of their you-know-what and make it a lot easier. I went in to go to will call to get my badge, and they're like, oh, no, it's not over here. It's way on the other side. So I go way on the other side. Guys, if you don't know, that's a really large convention center. Just walk way on the other side. Like, you have to Uber just to go a mile. I went there, and they're like, oh, no, it's the other side in between. I'm like, are you kidding me? So I go there. Like, nobody had any idea where will call was. When I finally got my badge, the guy's like, yeah, just go through these doors. Then I get almost tackled down by a security guard. No, you can't go that way. Who the hell told you? I'm like, your buddy just told you. Oh, I don't know. I'm new here. I'm like, just terrible. I don't know if you had that much of a bad experience picking up badges, but it should not take an hour and 45 minutes to get a badge.
No, our pickup was great, but if we didn't go through the right doors in the morning, oh, I'm sorry, your badge can't go in until whatever, 10 o'clock. And it's like, so the Friday morning, it's raining, and it's raining pretty darn good by the time Lori and I get there. And we get there, and it's 8 minutes to 10. 10 o'clock is when the door is supposed to open. I'm sorry, sir, your badge is the wrong color. You need to go back outside. You need to exit the building now. It's like, dude, it is pouring out there. I'm sorry. It's like, okay, so if I would have walked around the stupid building and gotten over to the other door where the media can, but it's like, I'm not even going in yet. I'm in the lobby area.
Yep. It was also a little bit louder this year than last year, but it wasn't anywhere as bad as Mobile Beat or DJ Expo.
Yeah, definitely. But there were times, even as we're shooting the video, you guys probably heard on the Instagram videos, there were times where the microphone was basically being pushed to its limits, even over my talking.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't happen, but you have a company where, ADJ's got their booth here, and then you've got somebody pointing right directly at them with speakers.
Yep.
And they're thumping along, and then someone from this side is thumping along, and yeah, it's a little frustrating. Then you go down into the musical instruments area. I love going through and seeing the drum kits, and I love seeing the guitars and different things. Lori and I are walking through the guitars. We were going to do a live stream from the guitar area because we had a decent signal. Verizon, thank you.
Screw you, Sprint.
And we were going to do that. And I'm telling Lori, it's like, I'm looking at the little. I've got an app that'll show me how much mic noise is being picked up, and the thing is pegged red, showing me that the phone is just being overdriven with all the sound with the little Rode lapel mic. It's like we can't go live. No one will hear a thing we're saying unless we stick the thing, almost eat the microphone, and then it's gonna be distorted.
Absolutely.
Every booth, there's somebody, bass guitar, and they're doing their thing and going back and forth, and it's like, oh.
And half of them are not that good. It's the same riff again and again and again.
It's somebody's old guy uncle there with a bad ponytail, and he looks like he's had just a little bit too much Marihucci, and he's up there and he's trying to do his Smoke on the Water guitar riff, and it's like he's not that good at it. But that's what's every other booth is like, got that riff going, and then there's the other ones who they think that they are a musician and they're creating their own unique riff that they're playing, and it's like, oh dude, that just sounds like dump, and that sounded like dump. Well, I'm gonna go over there, far away. So that's the basement, by the way. Yay, rah rah for the basement.
Yeah, I have not done the basement yet. I guess at some point I should.
Oh, you got it. You've got it. It doesn't take as long as it used to because there's some spots that are just so loud you just keep chucking right on through.
It gets busy. I mean, like I said, I was helping out the ADJ booth, showing out the new software, and I mean, we had a really good, busy booth, and I think part of it is because we did have a lot of new products. Hey, I'll tell you what, kudos to JC, who's been working now with American Audio. He's really working hard on giving American Audio some better, higher quality products. The new microphones look good. The new headphones. Did you hear the new headphones?
I did get to hear the one that was more of a DJ related, because the other one doesn't really fit our audience. It's
very bassy, but it wasn't too heavy. It had a good sound to it. I think for the price, they're going to have a hard time finding a competitor that can beat that.
The microphones actually were the surprising part to me.
Yeah.
The quality of the microphones in that price range is like, goodness gracious. We whine about the the mic drop thing is becoming such a big thing. There's a temptation. I would actually run the XL wire because the quality of that element in the top of the line one is really, really good. It's a good.
Well, and the wireless one is going to be a karaoke guy's dream come true, because they're cheap enough that if you drop them, it's not a big deal. But it actually has a sum out. Did you see that? You have your 4 XLR outs, and you have one sum out, so you can hook it straight. Like if you guys are doing a ceremony, you can hook this system with 4 microphones, and it only needs one line out, and it's got individual knobs for each one. So
yeah, that's incredible. I was surprised because I saw the initial picture. I didn't realize the sum out was there. So it's like, 4 lines out. Well, geez, my controller only has 2 mic inputs, and I want to use one for me, and then the sum out is a 1/4-inch jack. How perfect is that for my Denning controller, as an example? Right in.
So I found that to be pretty exciting. Audio-Technica's got not a lot of new stuff, but they've got a new, as far as their DJ headphone series and studio reference series, they've got some new stuff out. And I've been pretty happy with my Audio-Technica stuff. Hey, that's what I'm using right now as a microphone. But I'm excited to see, what they're going to be releasing, come Mobile Beat and come soon enough. But they had new stuff. Yamaha is always impressive just because, again, if you guys are into Namm, Yamaha isn't even part of the main show. They rented the entire Marriott downstairs. I don't mean one room. I mean the entire downstairs of the Marriott is all Yamaha.
But that's keyboards, guitars, or instrumentation and such. I went in there and I could not find. I found John, our good friend John Schauer. He was there. But I was looking for, some speakers or even some of the little mixers that we use for live sound and such, and I didn't see the stuff. Now maybe I just missed it.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
The little MG series mixers that they introduced a couple of years ago. I was looking for see if there's anything new in that, and I just did not see anything. In there.
No, and actually, I had the pleasure of talking to David Hatmaker, and I can't, he's one of the developers of the DXR series from Yamaha's. And obviously, I don't want to say too much of what we talked about, but like, for example, their TF series, which, goodness, their TF, like, iPad control mixer is less than $1,700. You have Dante compatibility, 16 outputs. I mean, just an incredible, or 16 inputs, an incredible mixer for the price. And we had talked about why you can't, why they haven't made something smaller, maybe something like the AG06. Is that the one I'm using right now? I have like 3 or 4 of these guys. Yeah, the AG06, but in the TF series. And, he basically he gave me the reasons on why they've made it as, that they can't go much cheaper than they're doing right now. And basically, Yamaha has the stance then that if we're going to cut corners, or if they're going to cut corners, they're not going to do it. So
Right.
I think that's why we may not be seeing too much in the AG series, because anything bigger than the AG, you're looking at something like their MG series or their TF series. So it's kind of weird that it jumps from like $129 to $1,400, but there really is nothing in between that wouldn't make you say, well, I'll just spend a couple hundred extra bucks and get the TF series.
Yeah.
So, funny enough, somebody here's some of the comments on your channel. Mark says, "Wow, Namm sounds kind of corny, though." I don't know if I call it corny, but
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
yeah,
disorganized. It really is.
Yeah. Disorganized, definitely part of it. I mean, there could be a lot of things, and part of that's Namm themselves. Part of it is the convention center.
Well, no, okay.
part of it's
Explain
the
this
event.
to me. Why is Chauvet, Blizzard, and Elation in one area, and then you just go way to the other side, and then you have the arena with the other lighting companies?
I've never understood exactly who benefits the most from that kind of a configuration. Is it something that by being not in the arena that Chauvet and an American DJ, ADJ, they do better out there? Because you put them in that arena.
No. You definitely do better not being in the arena, but the arena is dark, so you can show off lighting a little bit more. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
My wife's reporting to me that they had the lights on this year at the arena.
They did have it was a little bit brighter because they didn't have as many of the companies that did lighting in there. They had a lot of it was both some of the Chinese companies that were selling speakers. I think there were more audio companies in the arena this year.
Yep.
Than there were, certainly more than lighting companies. I mean, you've got Ariba Cases who has their booth in there, and there were times it was so dark in there that Jennifer, it was like, is she there? Jennifer Davies is in the booth, and you can't see because in our video, of course, the camcorders did a fabulous job of picking up, but we shot it at the end of the day so that the lights were up a little bit. Otherwise, earlier you couldn't have seen. Oh yeah, here's this bag, and it's a black bag with a black zipper, and it's like, yeah, I can't see it. It's just black to me.
No, absolutely. Well, and it was interesting as far as, again, the overall layout. I don't know who exactly comes up with that. I don't know. I there are some big plans I know that they're doing to make it a little bit easier, but I just feel like it's very disorganized as far as how it's all arranged. You have like guitars over here, guitars there, DJ here, DJ there, lighting. Yeah. And in the midst of it all is OWC, Otherworld Computing.
Yep.
Showing computer upgrades at Namm. And a lot of people are like, well, why the hell are they here? This is not CES. But their booth was fairly busy because, I mean, obviously, if you're an event professional, you need a good computer.
Where were they this year? I didn't see them this year.
They were right next to us at ADJ.
Really?
Yeah. And actually, I'll tell you, one of the things that I absolutely loved was DEC. I think that's the most innovative product of 2017. So what they did is you take your 2016 MacBook wants to be Pro. That's what I'm calling it now. And you remove the 4 screws at the bottom. Those screws come out, and OWC gives you longer screws and now a bottom part that goes in. So the dock actually screws into the bottom part. So it gives you all the additional ports that you need. You can put up to 4 terabytes of additional hard drive space. So they're making the MacBook Pro again. I've been to OWC. They're great people. MacBook Pro, it's terrible. Lock her up. But... No, so that was pretty damn innovative. They also have a Thunderbolt 3 drive, an external drive, John. Get this. This sucker is 1.8 gigs write and 2 gigs read per second.
Wow.
Yeah. Do you know how much 4K adult content, professional event footage you can put on that thing?
3 or 4.
Yeah, 3 or 4, easily. So I thought that was pretty unique. Oh, Pioneer. Okay, you know what? Look, I can't stand Deadmau5. I think that guy is just full of himself. But he's absolutely right. If you're going to have 4 players all with a big freaking screen, and you're going to have a mixer with another big freaking screen, to quote Deadmau5, I'm sorry, if you guys have children, you might want to go to mute it, but you might as well bring a fucking laptop.
Yep.
John's like, great, 7 o'clock show just turned after hours. Thanks. But I'm quoting.
Last year, they demonstrated, or they brought that out. That was the hot new thing last year, where they had, as Arnoldo was saying, they've got the player screen, mixer screen. And it literally looks like, you've got 5 monitor screens, like probably 15-inch monitor screens, what they look like. 5 of them across there. So you have your 7-foot wide thing going on here.
I mean,
I thought last year that was just like somebody's bad idea and they were going to dump that thing like a bad idea should. But no, it was front and center again this year.
I thought this was look, this is how ridiculous this USB thing is getting. And no, this is a real product. I was like, no. Yeah. Okay, and I get it, right? You're not going to see a Pioneer S9 Mark II anytime soon. Why? Because they're still making money out of the S9. So why the hell would they put, a revision to a popular mixer that's still selling? So I totally get that. But really, the only thing that you have is the SZ2. And I have no idea what the hell the difference is between the regular SZ and the 2.
I don't know
and
either.
Nobody would know because Pioneer had like 2 people at their booth. Did you see any Pioneer people at all?
Oh, I saw Jay for a few minutes. It's like they're only, I shouldn't say that because of knowing the marketing, some of the marketing people or knowing of them. Yeah, I knew they were there, but
nobody was walking around. Like I sat there trying to find somebody. I want to do a live stream. Nope, nobody at all.
Nope.
Okay then. See ya.
That's exactly what So what's interesting is that for those of you, if you go out, the units we're talking about are very similar. I'm more familiar with the Denon product because that's what Ben walked me through. The Prime series is what it was, and it's the SC5000. I have all my notes on it. The SC5000 is basically similar to what the Pioneer is using with that 15-inch monitor, but the Prime series there, the SC5000 has the screen and everything is controlled by the screen.
Yep.
And that was their biggest push. Basically is that you have everything you need in that little screen. So it's basically the table, what have you, your stand, this little player, what have you, and then it's wide open. So you can be, there's nothing between you and your audience. And that was, oh my goodness, the number of times that was said during our interview time. It's interesting, the strides that they're going through to try to get that opened up because of people not wanting that laptop in front of them. And yet Pioneer has got the look.
So I didn't even write down the name of the product, but the ugliest product of the year has got to go to that Gemini controller, not the Ableton one. That's unique. But the one that was next to the Ableton controller. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
Oh crap! I think I took.
But you know which one I'm talking about, right? That thing was hideous.
There was a couple of controllers out there that were like, were they not thinking?
I'm trying. Is it the SDJ 4000?
Yes,
it's the SDJ 4000. Hang on one second. I got to do a screen cap here. So if you guys are on mine, you can at least see what I'm talking about. But the SDJ 4000. John, I don't know if you can screen cap so you can show them that too. Yeah. What the hell is this thing? The wheels are small. The buttons look like they stole them from, I think, maybe Real Loop. But it was such an awkward. Oh, by the way, you guys are about to see me, Michael Vick, this dog. Hey, the thing is huge. That's a freaking tank, and not in a good way. I don't know what the hell that is. That made me sad.
Yeah, you guys will have to pop out and take a look for that because DJ Tech Tools and a few others have got it. I don't know if we've got it on ours.
Hopefully Gemini's not an advertiser. If they are, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's the reality of the situation, though. And no, Gemini isn't an advertiser.
But they had the Ableton controller was ugly, but it was innovative. I'm like, okay, you know what? This is actually really flipping cool. I'm actually considering it for video mixing. Not like at an event, but as far as editing videos. That controller was innovative. And you can always expect something innovative from Gemini. You can, because Gemini really had a lot of products that we use now first. You know, the iKey, that thing was, huge. The Cortex, what everybody now calls Record Box, technically Gemini had the first reincarnation of that. But that controller is hideous.
I think one of the reasons why Gemini is so quick with getting things out, we'll call it, is I almost feel at times that they just jump and run things to market. Yeah,
well, it's cheaper for them too.
Without the quality control and different things that you may see from other companies, and that's the good and the bad. I mean, when I was a younger DJ, I bought quite a few Gemini things. I don't know of any of them that lasted over 3 months at that time because I was buying cutting edge technology that wasn't proven. And one particular dual CD drive player was the first one out there that was under $500. I bought the thing as soon as it was available, And I think one side never worked. And after sending it back 2 or 3 times, you get what you get.
Yep. Real quick, somebody, Tristan Harper just commented if there's any new and good battery power PA systems. I can tell you the American Audio side, the ELS 15 Go BT was huge last year. John, I think you used that one too a couple of times.
Yep.
Did you see the lightweight version of it?
No, I didn't.
It was literally right next to the other speaker we can't talk about yet. This thing is light. When we picked it up, I didn't think there was an amp in there. That sucker is super light. Pretty much identical. They got rid of some of the fluff like the FM radio. Who cares? Then there's also the ELS 8 Go, the second reincarnation, which is a lightweight version. It comes with a wireless microphone, which didn't sound bad at all. But it's only a 50 watt as opposed to 100 watts, so it's better for smaller parties. It has that light up cone, the speaker cone, which... If
you guys go to my Instagram page, you guys can check out that, or Facebook had it there too.
The guys at American Audio know I didn't care about that. Whatever. That I don't need my crap to light up. But I can tell you right now that the rental market, end users like consumers are gonna go crazy for that. So I'm thinking, we may pick a couple of those up and rent them out to people, because there's people like my wife that are having just like a get together and they want to do karaoke. Well, this thing has little lights built in and has your wireless microphone and Bluetooth. I'm like, this is awesome, So
yeah, and that's you mentioned for the rental. Of all the speakers I have, the ones that have been rented in the last couple of years the most have been the Newmark Lightwave. People think that's the coolest thing.
Absolutely. And then somebody asked about what does the Gemini Ableton controller do? It allows you to DJ with Ableton, plain and simple. There's a lot of guys that DJ with Ableton. And what I'm curious is if you're using Serato Bridge, if you could have, that controller going on at the same time you have DVS, so then you can use Serato and Ableton at the same time. So
did you see just before we wrap up here, did you see, I know you weren't in the basement. There in the basement, there was a company that had a touch screen. It's a little, basically looked like a very ultra thin iPad that could be hooked up as a source for your device, and it was a touch sensitive, like a velocity sensitive surface. But when you could put a skin over it, and it could be a keyboard skin, it could be a DJ skin, it could be anything, and all the different areas you can basically map out. So if I'm hitting this happens.
Wait, isn't that similar to Touch Solutions?
Very similar, very very similar to that. And they were down there, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the price on that thing was like $199 for the thing and one skin.
Ooh, somewhere out there, Carl Deckin's like, huh?
Yeah. In some ways, except of course, in their world, they've got they have a 30-inch that does its thing, and these didn't light up because it was basically you just put a different skin on top of it, and it was just a thin little pad. But the ability, they had it, and they were advertising how quick. There was no latency or lag with that whatsoever, which was really kind of cool, and they were demonstrating it. I looked at it. They were down in an area where they were by the keyboards because they were trying to promote, making music and having it as like drum pads, and then also having it as a keyboard. So you could go and you could multi-track. Okay, first you're going to use it to make beat drum, then you're going to use it for this and that and the other thing. I'm thinking as a DJ input device, it could be a really kind of a cool tool.
Absolutely.
So there's some cool stuff. Definitely cool stuff. So
definitely. So real quick, John, since we're almost getting ready to wrap it up, if you want to tell the people watching on my side of the channel what you've got going on tonight, you've got quite a bit.
We've got it. Yeah, we got a full show. We're going to be featuring 4 of the speakers from Old Beat Las Vegas. We'll be doing that here starting at about at the top of the hour. And you guys can go out to youtube.com/Disc Jockey News, and that's where you'll find the first player. You click on it, or even if you guys, you need to do that. And we have all the different shows that'll be on tonight. So we're going to be doing 4 shows there, and then we're going to be doing our wrap-up show. And then tomorrow night, we've got more. We've got Ben Stowe with his top 10 things from Namm, which is always interesting because Ben digs into and he finds things that I didn't even know existed.
This is his first time in Namm in 4 or 5 years now.
Like he was no. He was there. I think last year he might have missed, but he's been there. But they really had a big presence this year with the live streaming Verizon.
That's true.
They really were out there looking at some of the new things. So
that's right. Yeah, they were there 2014. I remember seeing Kat.
Yeah. So they were there. So, yeah, that will be going on tonight. And then next Sunday, for those of you, you can go out to djntv.com/mini sessions. We've got a full day of sessions, and Arnaldo's going to be doing one of the sessions. We have got we've got 40 some sessions that'll be going on from 1 o'clock until about midnight, I believe it will be Eastern, somewhere in that ballpark. So
Cool. What's the dates? I can put that on my calendar.
that is January 29th on Sunday. Yes. You'll get a call. I'll give you a call 5 minutes before we go live on all this.
It's like, wait, when is this? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
man. Well, we got a lot of live streams coming up, so it's hard to keep up after a bit.
So and you're going to be doing. You've got. I thought you were going to be doing another one here. You were working on.
Yeah.
A gear live one.
Oh, sorry. My wife just asked me to taste test chicken. It's amazing. You should come over and try some, John. I don't know when my next Gear at First stream is going to be because I have to put everything on the back burner because we got prom season sales coming up. So
yeah.
I know I have the one on the 29th with you, and I may have one coming up. I don't have one yet planned. So
okay. Well, we'll you guys will just follow our channels. We'll let you know when we get.
And those of you watching, make sure gearatfirst.com. That's the new website. All the cool kids are going there. All of them.
All of them.
How many cool kids?
Hey, John.
Yep. All right, guys, we're going to wrap this show up. Thank you for watching, and we will catch you later. We'll be back in about 20 minutes.
Absolutely. Talk to y'all soon. Thank you, John.
Yep, we are good. I think we're good.
Hey, John.